Yo, peace and love, family. So I want to share something with you guys. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I found it. Okay, photo evolution. Okay, so as you all can see right here, basically it says mainstream media now reporting on elites ingesting blood of children, right? So what's the science behind this? Why do we have what we call like vampires, and why do people they literally ingest or inject human blood? So the science behind that, blood, it carries what we call life force. That life force is called ether. It's one level of ether. So we have different levels of ether. We have gases and we have a liquid, right? And then we have ether in the form of sunlight, right? From photons, which is birthed by dark energy or dark matter, right? But the reason why we have people ingesting blood is because the fact that it has ether. It is ether. It is liquid ether. It is life force. It is one of the purest life force. It's the life force that grew the universe from brain newts, right? So when we talk about blood sacrifices, when people sacrifice blood to spirits, you guys may have remembered me talking about spirits eating or digesting or surviving off of sap from trees and blood from humans and animals, and things like coconut water. But one of the purest forms of ether you get from blood, right? Blood and sap from trees. Sap from trees is basically like the blood from the trees. So we have spirits that love or appreciate blood sacrifices because of what we call ether, the liquid gold that is produced by human beings and animals, and human beings have one of the richest forms of that ether. So when we talk about people, can blood make you younger, or is the what did they say in the article, in the video that I'm sharing? Well, I'm showing a photo, but there's a video to the photo, and in that video it says that ingesting blood or blood transfusions is a fountain of youth from children or teenagers, old people. So now, one thing that I noticed, peace and love, family. One thing that I noticed was that in lower income areas, what they call minority areas, we have all these plasma units to digest basically the nutrients and the life force out of that blood. The plasma is what keeps the blood healthy, what keeps away diseases, what keeps you strong, what keeps you vibrant, keeps you vital. So basically these clinics are all around these minority neighborhoods. Now people with high density of melanin, we hold high levels of ether. I mean from 7 to 8 degrees of what we call ether. Can everyone see the picture that I'm sharing? Can everyone see the picture that I'm sharing? So, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. So, yes, melanated people, we produce high levels of ether. We are actually what you call Ethiopian people. This is where we get ether from. Ethiopian, or this is where we get Ethiopian. We get it from ether or utopia. It's ether and utopia or utopian. It creates Ethiopian. And that's why melanated people or people of color, that's why we are all Ethiopian, because we are people of ether. We are 9 ether beings, or we are children of what we call the 9 ether beings that grew from the water, from the center of our planet. So melanated people, especially people with high density melanin, they carry large amounts of what we call ether, which actually produces from our solar plexus, right? And it's compatible with our sun, right? So what they're trying to get to when they drink blood, what we call vampires, and in Masonic rituals, they use blood. They literally drink blood in Masonic rituals. This is what we call actual vampires. People people of death or Caucasus people living off or surviving off the living. So one thing about melanated people, you know how magical we are, but we are so magical, but at the same time we are shaded to the point where a lot of people, they pretend they don't want to be around us or they don't want us around. See, that's one of the perfect misconceptions. They want to be around us. People want to be around melanated people because we give off so much energy. We digest ether from sunlight and we give that back off in creativity, right, from our brain. So what we have to understand is that the reason why there's racism, the reason why there's hate against us, is so we won't have the confidence to understand who we are. We are literally gods manifesting, walking and talking in a physical 3D reality, right, in perfect unison with nature. And this is why we're so magical. This is one of the reasons why we're so magical. So on top of that, on top of them secretly wanting us around, right, but not wanting us to take over, not wanting us to be confident enough to know who we are, right, and create on the levels that we used to. But here we go, they're admitting it. They drink and they ingest blood. Also, they use it via blood transfusions to stay younger. We're talking about the Caucasus people, the deaf people, living or surviving off the living people. I'm talking about the Walking Dead. Yeah, I just want to give you guys this download so you guys know what's going on. I mean, this has been going on for a long time. Like I said, since I was younger, I've noticed that we had all these blood clinics and we had all these plasma clinics, and that's basically people, they're paying low income minority people for their blood, right? And I know if you pay attention, you'll see these clinics all over. Actually, you can Google blood clinics or Google plasma clinics. I guarantee you 90% of these blood clinics are gonna come up in minority neighborhoods. Sorry for saying minority, I don't like to use that word. These blood clinics are gonna come up in melanated neighborhoods or Nubian neighborhoods because they want to tap into that Nubian bloodline. And I'm giving you guys these downloads right now because no one's talking about this, right? Another thing we're talking about, I'm not against interracial dating. I'm not against anything. Everything's going to play its course. But before, they didn't want a melanated person touching a white woman and vice versa, right? Black people would get lynched just for looking at a white woman or vice versa. So when we talk about the modern era of interracial relationship, almost every movie, almost every new movie that comes out is promoting interracial dating, right? Like I said, I'm not against it, but I want you guys to understand what's going on. We have to understand that melanated people we're being fed off of, right? There's people that's tapping into our gene pool or our bloodline to survive and live longer. This is absolute facts. And this is another download that I'm going to give you guys. One of the major things about the slave trade. The slave trade was not just about labor. No, it wasn't just about cotton. No, it wasn't just about labor. The slave trade is because certain minorities of the human species, in order to survive every 100 years, they have to mix in with the dominant species on this planet. And this is why we had what we would call sex. In slavery, we had like these sex rings or these sex labs where they would take slaves and mate with them and also mate some slaves with other slaves. So some slaves were mated with other slaves to produce more dominant workers. Now you had other slaves that the slave masters had sex with and tapped into that gene pool, and then they create what we call mulattoes, and then those mulattoes also mixed in to create, also once a mulatto mixed in with a Caucasoid, and then that Caucasoid offspring mixes in with another Caucasoid, you get a regular white person. This is why most white people have black DNA. People don't understand that, and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of Caucasian people, they have a small percentage of black DNA. That's because in the slave trade there was a sex and rebirth project going on, because the sun is reaching a level of ultra or intensity that won't allow certain minorities of the human species to survive on this planet. So every 100 years they have to mix back in with the dominant gene on this planet. So I want to give you guys this science because a lot of people don't know this, right? So now we had an era after that sexual rebirth project that happened in the 14, 15, 1600s. We had a period of what we call ultra racism or super induced racism. And that super induced racism was to kill the confidence of the melanated people after the assimilation. There was actual scientists creating systems of eugenics, right, to take away from the confidence, trying to use scientific methods to prove that melanated people are not dominant. At this time in reality, we know that the people of color, we are the most dominant, and also everybody on the planet comes from us. So this is what we're going on. That's what that whole sexual rebirth project was about. Now we have another period of super induced interracial promotion via the media. Like I said, we have another level of super induced interracial relationship projected by the media. Every movie, almost every movie, is projecting a black woman with a Caucasian male, or the vice versa. And like I said, I'm not against this, right? Because nature's going to play its course. But we have to understand what's going on. Everything is happening because of an intent, or because of a super induced, like what would I say? I want to use the proper words so you guys can fully digest what's going on. Peace and love everyone that just joined the live. So we have inorganic species trying to mix in with the organic species, because this has to happen every 100 years. Every 100 years they have to mix back in with the dominant species, or they will perish by way of the sun, because the sun is reaching ultra. The sun is letting off solar flares over and over and over, which is producing a level of melanoma. At this point in time, we have the highest levels of melanoma and skin cancer, because a minority of the human species cannot take the sun at its 9 ether or ultra level. As I said, the sun is reaching, in fact, ultra state, which means the sun is producing more ether via sunshine, which is creating more solar flares, which is impacting the universe. Not just our solar system, all of the suns in the universes are reaching a level of ultra because we're speeding up in the nature cycle. Are y'all getting this, or am I talking too fast? Because I'm giving y'all downloads right now. Are you guys getting this? Are you guys getting this, or am I talking too fast? Give me some feedback, family. I want to know if y'all digesting what I'm talking about, because this is very important. This is very important. And not a lot of people are talking about this. Are you guys digesting what I'm talking about? No, keep going? All right, let's do it. All right. So, I'm going to repeat one more time. A small minority of the human species is on... Let me see. Yo, keep going. I'm hearing you. Yo, peace and love, family. All right. So a small minority of the human species has to mix in with the organic or organ species of the planet every 100 years, or by way of nature, they will become extinct. Now, this is where we at right now. National Geographic, they said by, what, 2050 or 2030, what was it, 2030, 2050, everyone is going to be of color, right? So now we're on a survival, we're on a time of survival. Everyone's trying to survive genetically. So that's why they're producing interracial media, interracial propaganda. At a certain time, this was so taboo. Now, in 2019, it is not taboo. Everybody wants to do it. No, some people have to do it, because if they don't do it, by way of nature, they will be extinct. I'm not against interracial dating. I'm not against anything. I'm pro-nature. But I'm trying to give you guys the understanding. I'm trying to give you guys the build of what's actually going on, so you guys just don't be just in the dark. No, come to the sunlight. Come to the truth. You know? So, once again, they're producing and the propaganda of, or letting the masses know what they already been doing for hundreds of years. Actually, thousands of years. Trying to, every 100 years, they will become extinct. So, this is inevitable. I must say this. By 2020, 2050, everybody on this planet will be of color. So now, we're just talking about survival genetically, a conscious survival. Because physically you can die, but we still carry consciousness via our genes and our genetics. People with schizophrenia, they're not only affected by spiritual influences outside their physical beings because their psychic self-defense is down, they're also affected by ancestral data within their genes or within their DNA. Like I always say, once somebody take a cotton swab and swab your mouth to prove, let's say, if you're the father, if you're the mother, a DNA test. They have to take genetic or ancestral data from your saliva and test that saliva to see if this person is your ancestor from 100 years ago to 200 years ago to thousands of years ago. Our ancestral data is within our genes. So when somebody mixes in with somebody, they're taking their data, they're taking and sharing their ancestral data and injecting that or infusing that with the person that they have sex with or the person that they have a rebirth process with. What we call having children, that's a rebirth process. Your child is a carbon copy of you. Your child carries your consciousness. Your child does not only carry your genes, your child carries your consciousness, influenced or passed down by ether, in your blood, in your genes, in your DNA, in your mitochondrial DNA, passed down from mother to child. Yo, take these downloads. Y'all gonna get these downloads today. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give you guys a hack also when it comes to mating and how to choose a mate. So when it comes to your gene pool, well, right now I'm actually talking to melanated people because black people at this day and time, we're just now gaining the consciousness of how beautiful we are. We're just now gaining our confidence back because our confidence has been killed. Our confidence has been stripped from us. And we're just now reaching the state, but we still have black people who feel like they have to wear European hair to look beautiful. We still have black people that feel like they have to portray themselves as a European or be like, oh, I'm mixed with this, or I'm mixed with Irish, or I'm mixed with Italian. When, nigga, you just black. You know what I'm saying? You need to talk about the Congolese, the Kenyan you have in your blood, the North African and South African you have in your blood. Have pride in who you are. When it comes to relationships, I'm not against interracial relationships, but if you want strong genes, if you want your children to be genetically dominant, intellectually dominant, physically dominant, spiritually dominant, etherically dominant, your best bet is to infuse your genes with a melanated being. Woo! Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. I'm not against anything, but I'm pro things. And I'm pro-black, and I'm pro-humanity. But for melanated people, you don't have to mix in with somebody to be accepted from humanity. We have black people that feel like they need a light-skinned baby. We have a lot of black women who prefer to mix with a white male or a very, very light-skinned male to have what we call a light-skinned or mulatto baby, so that baby could fit in with this called what we call so-and-so society. They will be accepted because they may not be as intimidating as a dark-skinned male. This is also a survival tactic. Fuck that. We don't need survival tactics anymore. We're in the sun cycle. Yes, we are in the sun cycle, baby. We're back. It's ultra. The sun is shining, like Bob Marley said. Hold up. Let me let y'all see this real fast. Where we at? I'm gonna have to put this down. I don't know how to take the picture, but I don't know how to take the picture down. I don't know how to take the picture down. Oh, that's what I'm trying to show y'all. Look at that. Oh wait, no. What's going on here? What's going on? I'm trying to show y'all the sun. Where's the sun at? Boom. We're back in the sun cycle, baby. 9 ether. We're back in the sun cycle. It's on. I don't know how to take pictures down. I'm gonna have to learn how to do that. Anyways, let's get back. Or want good hair. No such thing as good hair. You take care of or not. Stop lying. There's a such thing as good hair. Good. I need to put some coconut oil in it. But this right here, this is good hair. Why is this good hair? Why? Okay, so we know that melanated hair, we produce oils that a lot of other races do not produce, right? Which is very healthy. This keeps away a lot of what do they call these things that grow in the hair? Like lice and all these crazy things. Black people don't get lice, right? Unless they're super, super, super fair. Unless they lack a lot of melanin, or unless they're albino, right? So the secret about this hair, why do we have what we call kinky hair when the sun was so intense? Let me give you guys a secret. Now, if you guys take a match, a lighter, and you put it to straight hair, what happens to that straight hair? That hair turns into a 9. It begins to curl, right? Right? And actually everything in nature curls like that. And the reason why when you put light to that hair, it curls is because the heat is molding that hair into what we call, what do they call it? I forget the actual name for it, right? But anyways, at the time when melanated people grew, our ancestors grew on this planet, that's when the sun was so intense that as soon as we grew hair, it automatically grew kinky. It already grew into a 9. So this is the perfect representation of the Ethiopian people. That hair right there, baby. That's good hair. And it's not, when I say good hair, it's proven because it produces the right oils and the right nutrients to keep us, our hair healthy and us healthy. This is what we call 9 ether. This is hair, right? This is not fur. This is hair. This is what we call 9 ether curls. So yes, this is good hair, baby. So if you're trying to mix with a light-skinned person or a white person just to get good hair, there's something wrong with you. There's a mental condition. You lack the proper confidence. Actually, you lack knowledge of self to understand how special you are and how special your ancestors are. Boom. Listen, I love y'all. I want to give y'all these downloads because I haven't came to y'all in so long. I haven't been with y'all in so long. But this is a good year. As y'all can tell, my throat chakra is wide open. So I'm going to be bringing y'all those facts. I'm going to be bringing y'all the science, right? I'm going to be bringing y'all that science soon. So anyways, I'm not going to keep y'all long. I just want to let you guys know, yes, we are living with bloodsuckers. We are living with vampires, right? And I'm not everybody, not every Caucasoid or Caucasodian or European is a vampire. Not consciously, right? But some are definitely energy suckers, blood suckers, and literally real life vampires. And the science go back to survival, right? Our blood keeps them alive longer. Our blood is their fountain of youth, and our energy is their fountain of youth. Now, where's the proof? We built everything in America. We invented 98% of the inventions here, right? We created jazz. We created hip hop. We created rock. We created everything. Everything beautiful comes from us. If black people didn't come here, it would be a very quiet situation. It'll be a very quiet situation. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, regardless of what I'm talking about, love everybody. Love yourself and know yourself. Love your ancestors because your ancestors are living inside of you. We are the physical vortex for our ancestors. Give me a second. Let me get myself situated. Talking about good hair. No, let me start on good hair. This is good hair right here. What? You need to put some crystals on it. Create some energy conductors. That's good hair right there. Yeah, that's a wrap right there, family. I'm not gonna keep y'all all day. I just wanted to give y'all some of those downloads that I was getting. You know, one second. Let me get such a weight hard. Yeah, so I hope everybody was able to see the picture that I put up. And actually, I wish I could put the link to the video so you guys can actually see her talking about it. Oh, we found the fountain of youth. Taking blood from teenagers or taking blood from kids. Oh, and before I go, let me add a little bit to the build. Before they talk about before they actually came out really blunt about drinking blood, or they say in the form of blood transfusions, but we know via Masonic rituals that they drink blood. But now they even use the stem cells from babies to grow their organs, to grow organs back, to reverse diseases, right? And it's not legal in certain places, but now a lot of rich people, they use stem cells from babies to literally reverse the disease. What are stem cells? Stem cells are taken from the bone marrow. What grows in our bone marrow? Blood grows in the bone marrow. Boom. Oh. Ooh. So, some of the purest forms of ether, it grows in your bone. Once again, one of the purest forms of ether grows in your bones. What is blood? Blood is ether. Blood is liquid ether. Blood is the life flow. Remember, ether is what grew the universe. Now, blood is liquid ether. Now, your blood can be dirty. Your blood can be sick. Your blood cannot be clean by way of what you eat. If you eat and drink soda, chips, MSG, corn syrup, all that crazy shit, your blood is infected. Actually, if you're eating meat, if you're eating dead animals, your blood is infected. So now, in order to get the pure form of ether, they bypass the liquid blood going into the bone to get the bone marrow, to get the stem cells in your bone marrow, to reverse their disease, to extend their life. Aha! Boom, I broke the code. I broke the code, baby. Ain't nobody talking about this. They have to go into the bone to get the purest form of what we call ether, of blood. So we're talking about vampires reinventing ways to get pure ether. We're talking about 3 ether beings. We're talking about 3, 4, 5 ether beings, dead beings, Caucasian or Caucasians or Caucasus people that needs life, vibrating on 3 or 4 ether, going tapping into the 9 ether inside your bone, what we call stem cells. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yo, y'all better appreciate this right here, because this is the straight download right now. Yo. This is a straight genetic gene download. Yo, you gotta love it. But I gotta let y'all know what's going on, because everyone's on this kumbaya. Oh, kumbaya, everyone hold hands. Oh, we all one. Yes, we are all one. But nature produced different beings with different natures. So we gotta know what's going on. So that's what's going on, family. They're talking about blood, using blood to prolong their lives, or blood being the fountain of youth, right? Now we understand they're using rituals. Now we understand that they use stem cells, which is the purest form of ether, your blood, and these blood shops, these plasma shops are being found in minority neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, Nubian, Ethiopian neighborhoods. Just like the abortion clinics. Yo, do you know that they use aborted babies to put in vaccines, aborted babies to put in their medicine? When you talk about an aborted baby, or a pure baby, or that placenta is filled with stem cells, people are buying placentas on the dark web, the dark market, for thousands of dollars. I'm talking about $10,000, $20,000. People are buying placentas. Why are they buying placenta? It's because placentas can be used, put in a centrifuge, blended up, and it's pure stem cells. Those stem cells can cure disease. Those stem cells can prolong life. What are stem cells? Stem cells are pure ether. Take these downloads, baby. Now, ether, right, is produced in the blood, right? The bone marrow produces what we call the blood, right? And now this is what we have, other than killing you, this is why we have all these abortion clinics in the black neighborhood. This is why we have all these blood clinics in the black neighborhood. This is why we have so many plasma centers in the black neighborhood. It's because they get into your life source. They're breaking you down, right? They're breaking you down genetically. You trying to get a light-skinned baby? You're trying to get a mulatto baby? Oh, you're trying to get a weaker genetic being? Don't get in your feelings. This is facts. My job is not to make you feel good. My job is to give you the facts. And these are the facts. Right? Humanity should live in one. Humanity, we should all work together. But we have to understand that you are being fed off of. You are a food source. If you watch The Matrix, this is what's happening. And I mean, come on. If you're conscious, if you're enlightened, you know now in these rituals behind closed doors that they eat babies, that they eat flesh, they drink blood for ritualistic purposes. Now they're just coming out and telling you, oh, blood, drinking blood, it's the fountain of youth. Nigga, you are the fountain of youth. It's in your genes. With your mind and power, you can live beyond 120 years if you tap into the sun, if you eat right, if you eat life. Let me show you something. I'll show you something right now. This is life, look. Listen, man, it's over, I'm done. Let's shut it down. Peace and divine love. I love y'all. No, I really do love y'all. Like, no, really, I love y'all. It's love.